The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, to my left, we have a man that really needs no introduction, for he is known the world over. It's the one, it's the only, it's Pops.
Welcome to True School Sports, the untouchable True School Sports, and let's get it going.
So look, well, this is Pops' first video with me on the new set, the new and, you know, it's a work in progress set here on True School Sports. But we came to you guys with another video today because there has been controversy already. We ain't even got to the press conference of Billy Joe Saunders versus Canelo, and we're getting controversy. So what is this controversy you speak of, BT? Well, we'll get into it. So IFL TV did an interview with Billy Joe Saunders' dad. And Billy Joe Saunders' dad dropped a gem, dropped a bomb today on what's going on with the fight between Canelo Alvarez and Billy Joe Saunders. He stated that Eddie Hearn wants Billy Joe Saunders to box Canelo in an 18-foot ring, which is significantly smaller than the standard 24-foot ring. He said, and he's been very adamant, that they will not budge and they will not go below fighting anything beneath a 22-foot ring because Billy Joe Saunders likes to box, he likes to move, and by him fighting an 18-foot ring, that takes away his biggest strength and his biggest advantage, which plays more to Canelo. So, Pops, I want to swing it over to you. What do you think about that whole situation?
I think if Canelo is the pound for pound fighter that everybody says he is, that he's the best fighter in the world, answer me this question: why the fuck does he have to shrink the fucking ring to his advantage? People are saying that Saunders doesn't have the confidence. I think it's the other way around.
Ooh.
I think that Canelo is fearing something and knows something about Billy Joe that we don't know about, and that is him being southpaw and his movement.
Yeah, you know, we know Canelo's cement-footed. Mm-hmm. We know that he tends to struggle with southpaws who can move. History tells us that. You know, we look at Lara, we look at Trout. Even if you want to just look at mobile fighters in general that aren't southpaw, guys who are sharp, can move, can counterpunch, like Floyd Mayweather, or, you know, as I told many of you guys, Larry Mosley, who was giving Canelo some fits in his American debut. So that's what the main speaking point was. But it gets worse. It gets worse because it sounds like Matchroom Boxing, Eddie Hearn, and all parties involved are doing their best to demoralize Billy Joe Saunders before he even gets into the ring. Billy's dad also stated that Billy Joe Saunders had to pay for his own hotel room along with flying out his entire team to the fight.
And he only had like a handful of tickets in all for his corner. Let me tell you right now, first of all, before we continue on with the Canelo and Saunders, I gotta get on Eddie Hearn's fucking case.
Let's talk to him, Pops. Be honest with him.
Let me tell you
because we know he didn't want no smoking person.
This motherfucker, right, before this prelude to this fight, the motherfucker's doing the same thing with Anthony Joshua and fucking
Fury,
as far as not being honest and giving the people of UK what they deserve. And here he's just straight butt fucking the UK. Well, the UK people, the government not allowing him here, but he's butt fucking this guy right here,
Billy Joe Saunders,
who's got nothing, everything against him, and he's supposed to be from the same country, but it seems to me that he's eating that fucking Mexican beef.
Ooh. And Eddie Hearn on that computer roll.
Yeah, and that whatever we want to taco salad, whatever we want to say. But the bottom line is, I'm very disrespectful. He disrespected Billy Saunders when he first came out and said that they're already planning for the planned fight, and then he comes up with all this bullshit now going on. My biggest thing is people say that Canelo is the pound for pound, that he's making, how you say in Spanish?
Escribiendo la historia.
He's making history, writing history for the Mexican people and for boxing. But the reality is, he has no confidence in himself. And as you will find out from BT going on this list, this is like a fucking Santa Claus list.
It gets worse.
I mean, it gets worse.
It gets worse. So then it was also stated that when Billy Joe Saunders signed the contract, initially in the contract, they said that there will be a crowd of 15,000, which is great. You know, we're getting people back in the stadiums. Boxing's getting more lively again. Awesome. But then at the last minute, they changed it to 70,000 people, and Billy Joe Saunders, his purse did not increase. His pay did not increase despite the crowd and the gate increase.
fucking crazy. Like, how do you do? How do you do this? And the list goes on. Keep going to Santa Claus list.
Okay, point number 4. Billy Joe Saunders' father also mentioned Canelo's use of clenbuterol in stacking his raps. Now, this is both these things are very interesting because first and foremost, Canelo Alvarez has not arrived yet in Texas. We don't know what his body looks like, but we've seen in the past Canelo Alvarez will look one way 2 weeks out the fight, and then with a snap of a finger, 10 to 20 pounds of muscle mass comes out of nowhere. So that's something you have to look out for. And then he also mentioned something that I think is very, very relevant to this fight. He was saying that when he's in Vegas, that someone told him that when Canelo Alvarez gets his hands wrapped, to check the wraps, because in not all of his fights, but in a lot of in some of his big fights, Canelo Alvarez has stacked his wraps. He has over wrapped his wraps. And for those of you who don't understand the significance of this, when a fighter is getting their hands wrapped, if you continuously over wrap their hands and you put more gauze and more tape, it eventually gets really, really hard and it becomes like a plaster, like a cast almost underneath a glove. And these are guys that know how to throw punches, know how to throw leather. So that becomes very advantageous for Canelo and very dangerous for any of his opponents. When he fought Liam Smith, there's a good video, you can see it here on YouTube. There's a video of him doing this. And the media didn't cover it. Nobody's really talked about it, but he did this when he fought Liam Smith in Texas at the same stadium, at the same venue they're going to fight at. So I'm throwing it out there.
And then he also brought out that Canelo not only has his wraps, like you were saying, double wrap or whatever, he also has the gloves to liken to the size of his double. And then another thing that was brought out, besides him over wrapping his hands on big fights, he also has his boxing glove, I don't know if it's factual or not, to custom size to the fitting of his over wrapping. For that fight. So in other words, he's not using the same size glove when he overwraps his gloves. He has some custom size to how they're building it up.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that Billy Joe's father's hearing this from the Las Vegas gamblers actually gambling. A gambler, whether it's horse betting, whether it's anything.
I don't think it was gamblers. I think it was the people within the Las Vegas boxing community.
I'm thinking more beyond that. I think even if it was within the people within the boxing community, they study everything in every detail. If somebody even called that out the way they called it out and how they said it, it just befounds me that people think that this fucking Canelo is the greatest thing to fucking since white rice or whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. But in reality, he's had a previous fight the hydration clause thing.
Mm-hmm. Clenbuterol.
Yeah, he's had that.
Creating weight classes.
Yeah, you're right, classes.
Cherry picking smaller guys and making them move up weight classes too.
And just recently he came out and said he was going to stay at 168. He didn't want to go to 175. He just wanted to unify.
Yeah, he didn't want to fight Demetrius Andrade at 160 either.
Right. And now Andrew just won. And now Andrew might move up, and now he's coming up with some other bullshit. But my thing is, this is the motherfucker that everybody wants to glamour and shine as the fucking god to Mexico. No disrespect to Mexicans. That he's the best of all kind of fucking boxers ever. But for every fucking fight, and this is crazy, he's fighting fucking Billy Joe. And now he's coming out with my son put me on this game. He's telling me that boxers as they get more bigger levels, bigger fights, they become very
Now my counterpoint to what you're saying, because like you mentioned Canelo being able to pick and do what he wants.
Yeah.
People who watch this video might say, oh well, what about when Mayweather did all this stuff? What about when Mayweather made Marcos Maidana wear the gloves he wanted? Well, you know what? One thing I can say about Floyd that's different than Canelo is he actually earned his way into that position. When he fought Oscar De La Hoya, he fought Oscar De La Hoya at his best weight. He fought Oscar De La Hoya with everything in Oscar's favor, and then he went in there and he schooled Oscar and he put himself in that position. So he earned that position. Canelo Alvarez never earned that position. He got that position just because of him being a manufactured Mexican star.
Yeah, and all I'm saying is that in every fight that you have Canelo, there's always some fucking bullshit behind it. It's never like, okay, let's just fight, forget the catch weight, forget this fucking shit, forget this.
Let's get the best drug testing, all that stuff.
There's always something behind it. And how can you, and I will argue this all day, how can you tell me he's the best fighter of all time in Mexican history, or whatever you want to fucking call it, when every time he's like a bitch that doesn't know what kind of makeup she wants to put on, what kind of lipstick she wants to put on, what color this and that.
The eyeliner, mascara,
So, and now, he knows the movement. We all know, and I don't care what you motherfuckers tell me, Canelo cannot handle any fucking movement. I watched the last fight when he fought Floyd when he was younger. You guys can say whatever you want. He fucking couldn't handle Floyd then. Floyd schooled him like a motherfucker. I'm not saying that anybody, and right now after Floyd's better in his movement, but Canelo is a straightforward fucking Mexican fighter that's not gonna handle any kind of movement, any footwork, and that's what Billy Joe Saunders has. And to me, if he's so confident, he didn't have to go ahead and make all these calls on the ring size and all this other bullshit.
Moving along with our points, point number 5. Billy Joe's dad said that one judge will automatically score a card wide for Canelo, which, you could say he's being delusional and he's making excuses, but look at the history. Floyd Mayweather schooled the living shit out of Canelo. I mean, the living shit out of Canelo. Fought him in Las Vegas, in where he gets, all the favoritism and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And even the great Floyd Mayweather got a draw against Canelo when he beat him almost every round. I mean, that's what these fighters are up against. So he's not wrong there. We've seen it in the past with Triple G, in the 118, 110 with the Adeline Bird score. What do you used to call it? What was the name?
I forgot what
you used to call the blind bitch.
Yeah, fucking blind bitch like me, but I can see.
Yeah. Even when he fought Larry Mosley, there was one wide scorecard. So it's a pattern of history in Canelo's career. Point number 6, and this isn't necessarily anything his dad said. This is more of an observation I made myself. Billy Joe Saunders isn't a yes man, and I'm not saying he's gonna win, and I'm not even saying he'll put up a better performance than this guy, but I sense a much different attitude than Callum Smith. When Canelo Smith fought Canelo, I really felt like Canelo Smith was just happy to be there. And
what the thing is, there's two different things. What I make a difference between Canelo Smith and fucking
Billy Joe
Saunders. Okay, Billy Joe's come from a gypsy background.
Mm-hmm.
They never had their own place. They always struggled. They always had to make it and do what they had to do.
They're gritty,
motherfucking. I'm gonna call him the darling of the UK.
Canelo Smith.
Supposed to be Canelo Smith. Until we got to that fight to Canelo, and he looked like shit.
It was a sparring session.
So what I'm getting at, he just got a free ride there. He didn't deserve that. We all know that.
He lost to John Ryder.
So forth and so forth. So what I'm gonna say is, go back to what BT was saying is, you're gonna see, and I feel it in my heart that Billy Saunders is very adamant about this fight, not only because of how he's been treated, but how his own fucking promoter from the UK is treating him, and how he's treating the other Mexican beef cow. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Canelo.
I mean, that's very disrespectful.
It's worth noting too. He hasn't done a whole lot of interviews, but I was watching a couple. Mm-hmm. And Billy Joe's normally he jokes around a lot, very sarcastic guy. Right. But you look at him now, he looks very switched on, serious.
You can tell this. I mean,
it's a Billy Joe that's coming to win. I'm not saying he's gonna win. You guys I made my prediction. I think Canelo will win, and we'll figure him out in the middle rounds. And I got Canelo Alvarez winning a close 115-113 decision. But make no mistakes about it, Billy Joe Saunders is coming to win.
Yeah, and that's what he's very upset about. How, just like his father is, and I don't blame him. You think about it. If I'm from your country, and you just like sideswipe with me like I'm nothing. I'm talking about Eddie Hearn. I'm very angry at Eddie Hearn. Like, if I ever meet him again, if he thought he heard me from fucking how far I was, he's going to hear me even more. Because I feel in my heart that he's very disrespectful to the UK fans.
Billy Joe isn't even the first boxer he's done wrong like this. Remember the whole Kell Brook thing with Crawford? He wouldn't even get Kell Brook's fight with Crawford on television.
I'm like, how do you do that? I mean, you got to be greedy. Money is that more important to you? Like, I guarantee you, and I'm telling my son, after this, all over, you're not going to see fucking Billy Joe again fucking sign with Eddie Hearn again. I wouldn't sign with that motherfucker either. Fuck him. If he can literally fuck him and treat him like a piece of shit. I'm talking about Billy Joe, who's come from the UK, like his father said, like, we're from the UK, and you just shrugging us off. You're saying that we're ignoring the interviews and all this. No, we're not doing that. We did our part. We're doing our part, but we're not going to sit here and you want to sugarcoat this fucking thing, this fight, and just kiss up to Canelo's ass consistently and suck on his balls and every fucking crack he wants to do, and then disrespect your own people from your own country. If you're gonna treat that fighter that you promote the way you want to treat him, and I understand he's the A side, Canelo, but give the same respect to Billy Joe that you haven't done from the beginning when you already had the planned fight. And this is what started out with Soup 2.
He's already planning. He's pre-planning Caleb Plant versus Canelo.
And that was before all that. So I'm telling you, I've seen Billy Joe before, and even when he almost fought Boo Andre, and before that, like my son says, a happy jubal guy. But this interview right here, I just see him behind all those eyes. He's got a tough, aggressive, and anger on a lot of things against Eddie Hearns. And believe me, if Billy Joe can pull this off, boy, would this be a miracle.
Put him in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, you only have all he's gonna have in the fucking ring. Remember, he's gonna have his team that he paid for here, and he's gonna have the Gypsy King, and that's it.
Himself and God.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And that's it. And he's got, just like his dad said, we got everything stacked against us, but we're gonna be here. We're gonna come out to fight, give the best fight. And like I say again, for all you fucking Canelo dick motherfucking dick
Talk to him because they're gonna be in the comments.
For all you motherfuckers dick riding the Canelo Boat Show and Reynoso fucking asshole, answer me this question: why is Canelo in every fight that he goes into, or any guy, always gotta have some kind of fucking stipulation? Like on this fight, he wants the fucking ring short, and then he sucked Eddie Hearn's dick and got it because Eddie Hearns didn't even make it 24. He made it 20. So guess what? There's a reason why he's doing that. You know why? Because he has no fucking movement. He can't move around the ring.
Cement-footed.
Cement-footed. Go look at the fucking fight with Floyd. And Floyd fucking showed him up. And showed in front of him, showed him up. That was then.
And Laura.
And so forth and so forth. Mm-hmm. So, Reynoso and fucking Canelo, I'm telling you straight up, you motherfuckers, I ain't for this motherfucker right here. He's gonna be a fucking thoroughbred horse in the ring, and I hope that his movement will fuck up Canelo and fuck all you Canelo dick riders that can't see that.
Hey, you know what? Hey, I wanna before I end the video.
I'm sorry, man.
We're gonna end it soon. We're gonna end it soon, but before we end the video, you know, I got an interesting comment. I can't remember who it was, but someone said recently, you know, you guys in these videos, you guys talk a lot of shit to Canelo, but you would never say this to his face. What do you say to that?
I'll say it to his face. If I can say it to Eddie Hearns, I'll say it to anybody. I've always been that way.
He really will.
And I ain't backing out from nobody. And matter of fact, I will bring him a fucking piece of meat from the cow, from the fucking meat, what you call, like I said, the meat thing, so I can give it to him so he can fucking feel good about himself when I fucking curse his ass out. Because any man that can sit here and say he's pound for pound, he's the best, and he's
unbeatable.
And all you motherfucking delusional fucking Mexican fans that feel that he's the best and he's unstoppable, that he's pound for pound and all this shit, coming with all these kinds of stipulations. And I'm not saying that in the past other boxers haven't done it, but this motherfucker's too extreme with everything.
He's taking it to the next level.
I mean, he's done it. You name me one fight that he hasn't found something to do to get an advantage on. And don't tell me all the fighters are like that.
Well, people are going to say, what about Floyd?
Floyd beat his ass. Well, that's all you need to know.
Well, they say because
Floyd. Listen, Floyd. One thing.
Hey, what do you think about what Canelo said when he said if Canelo said if they were in their primes, Mayweather won't want nothing to do with him, that he would have knocked Floyd out, and if they were both in their primes?
No, I'm sorry to tell you right now.
Because he fought an old Floyd and still got schooled.
Floyd could come out right now. Right now, and his nutsack would be bigger than fucking Canelo's. And he will school him in the fucking ring. I'll tell you that right now. Because Canelo cannot handle any quickness and movement in the ring.
No.
And any fighter that moves around the ring any other way, Canelo can't handle that.
Can counterpunch and got any power.
Canelo comes forward and he'll chase you and he'll shake you like just like Billy Joe Saunders said, the Matador and the bull. And that's what he'll do. He'll chase the fucking bull, but he won't catch the bull. You know, because his quickness. The quickness of back and forth.
And that's why.
And that's by the problem. And that is another reason why he won't fight Boo Andre.
And exactly. And that's why, if you look at the styles of the guys he's fought since Floyd.
Yeah.
Golovkin, slow-footed. Callum Smith, slow-footed. Avni Yildirim, slow-footed. Daniel Jacobs, slow-footed. Who else is there? I mean, pretty much almost everybody he's fought since Floyd have been fighters that he can just be a bull against, and they don't have that those matador skills to counterpunch and move, slip, do all those things.
I'm not saying he probably will win this fight, but if Billy Joe can do this or expose him in 5, 6, 7 rounds of the fight, that fucking Canelo's just chasing, he's not doing nothing. That's just a recipe for Boo Andre to come in and finish him off.
Either way, we know he's not going to fight Demetrius Andrade, and he can't beat Demetrius Andrade.
And you all can say whatever you want, but you just answer me this question. I'm going to say it again. This is the pound for pound king that wants his ring at fucking 18. Oh, you guys are going to say, it's just 18, whatever feet, or whatever the size is, 18 instead of being 24. I mean, come on now. So if he doesn't have no confidence in himself, if he had all the confidence in the world, he could give a fuck about the side of the ring. He could give a fuck about the gloves.
Talk to him,
and
Pops.
he would go in there and just fight the motherfucker like you're supposed to do, and beat his ass like old Mexican styles do. Okay.
Like the great Mexican fighters,
Right.
like Chavez and,
Yeah.
and Ricardo Lopez and Miguel
So forth,
Canto
and
and so forth. Salvador Sanchez.
Yeah, but when you come here and I'm hearing this shit from him now, and then the way Eddie Hearn's is dick sucking Canelo's fucking
balls, yep.
balls and everything, and making it hard for Billy Joe to bring his team over and all this other shit. Come on, guys.
Trying to demoralize him before he gets in the ring.
Eddie Hearns, I got a lot of shit to tell you when I see you. Our meeting hasn't started yet. You just heard a little bit from me, but believe me, when I meet you, you're done.
Oh,
But
you gonna have Pops mad.
anyways,
You gonna have Pops mad as hell.
Let's get back to this fight. I wish both fighters the best, but I'm gonna tell you right now, this man might have he might be the David and Goliath thing. He might be the Goliath. He might be David who can knock out Goliath, and that could happen this weekend.
We'll see, man. It should be a good fight, but we're just highlighting some of the things that are going around the fight before the fight happens. I'm gonna end the video soon, but listen, before I do, I'm gonna let y'all know I'm gonna be in Texas. I will be at the fight, supporting Billy Joe Saunders and supporting the betterment of the future of boxing as well. You guys leave your comments down below. Take time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.